Welcome to the Young Creative. I am AnzuNim and today we're discussing about what is the perception of a good teacher. I look forward to meeting our guest today. So please introduce yourself to our loyal listeners and tell us about yourself too.
Good morning. My name is Murni, and I'm one of the teachers here in SMK Bahau, joining today's debate. It was nice to meet you all and join this debate.
Hi, my name is Badi, and I am one of the alumni of this school where I took science stream back then.
Hello everyone. I am a student here and my name is Yuna and currently Form 4 this year taking Pendidikan Seni Visual.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. I am Ainur. I am a full-time housewife and I am a mother of 4. The eldest is my daughter, 15 years old.
I am
The one
Ainur
is my
and
son,
I am
9
a
years
mother
old,
of
and the youngest is a
3
pair of twins.
and I
which
am
will turn
a
2
housewife
by the end of
as
this
well.
month.
Alright, thank you everyone. I'm sure that everyone is excited about this hot discussion. So I want to explain a bit of our rules, which is simple. So first of all, everyone must respect each other. I think that's the obvious reason. And stay relevant to today's main topic, which is what is the perception of a good teacher. Now, before that, I would like to pick a random question that I chose, and I'm gonna take out my phone. So alright. Okay, we got question number 4. Okay, so our first question is directed to our fellow student, which is Miss Yuna. As the student representative, what is your perception of a good teacher? Does it change over time?
I think it doesn't change over time. I think it's true that a teacher have to respect the student as much as they wanted their students to respect them. So it will be great if they support our dreams, our goals, and achieve our goals in that subject.
I
That's all
see.
from-
So, okay, thank you. So, from your our alumni point of view, how do you identify if the teacher can teach or handle the student?
Throughout 5 years of studying in this school, some teachers know how to keep a bond with their student, and some are not. So some teachers are very arrogant with their performance in school, and as a result, it makes their students feel afraid to ask any question to the teacher. And there's a time when this type of teachers picks their favorite student based on family background and their great performance, which is honestly unfair in the classroom. But some teachers have a soft spot and know how to handle and teach their student. So I can say that they teach their student equally and making the classroom environment feel fun and full of positive feedback. And they know how to control the classroom, and the student will respect them as a good teacher.
Alright, thank you, Miss Fali. So I guess that everyone has their distinct perception of a good teacher, right? So everyone has their own expectation and experience, right? So now moving forward to the next question. So I'm gonna see what question we pull. Number 1. Okay, number 1. Okay. The question for number 1 is, in your opinion, why are some teachers favoritism some students and do not treat them equally to others?
Well, in my experience, having two kids still in school, one of my children got very discouraged after their teacher only focused on the more competent students and always compare the weaker ones, saying that it would be easier if everyone were more competent. It is really sad as my son always compare himself to his sister who is already in the secondary school. As a mother, I really think this is something this is something sickening in the education system in Malaysia right now.
A very unfortunate thing perhaps, right? And I hope it got resolved sooner. So, how about from our own teacher's perspective, which is our teacher Murni?
Alright, so for me, teachers are tired of naughty students because they will look down upon them and make them isolated. We must refrain from privileging any sure students above others. It can happen even though we may not have intended to favor one child over another. And I understand the feelings of other teachers, but we have to treat them equally as a teacher. That's all for me.
I see. Thank you, Teacher Murni. I know that training and handling especially takes more work, especially in this generation, which is the Generation Z. Despite that, teachers should not be biased and treat everyone equally, and no matter about how they came from different backgrounds. How about you, Regina? Do you have any guidance from your teacher regarding any subject you struggle with?
As for me, I was not fond of mathematics and have been bad with numbers ever since I was a child. When the teacher asked me to respond to questions on the whiteboard in the front, while my fellow students watch, I always felt anxious and afraid. But my teacher insists that it is okay to make mistake and told me that she also sometimes make silly mistake to lighten up the mood, which is made me feel a little bit confident in my ability to answer the question smoothly and in math in general. And that's all.
You, Miss Bali, did you handle it when you encountered the same problem back then?
So like I said before, some teachers know how to handle their student and some need more. Ulang balik. So like I said before, some teachers know how to handle their student and some need more. So like in my case, I need help to learn and understand mathematics subject. So there's a time when the topic is too complex and makes me feel dumb, and the teacher noticed something was wrong with me throughout the lesson. So instead of asking me to answer the question on the whiteboard, she asked me to meet her at the office, so I did it. And surprisingly, she taught me privately just to ensure I understood the lesson well, like my other classmates.
I see. That's so nice of your teacher back then. I believe that guidance is actually crucial for the role of educator, where the focus of teaching and guiding students is needed, where it helps them being without afraid of being judged by someone. So as a person in charge in school system is such a good thing. So moving on to our last two questions. So the number that we chose is number 10. So okay. Why do good characteristics from a teacher impact some students? Anyone care to share?
Alright, so for me, the teacher is both a learner and an instructor. However, the student act in keeping with the teacher's approach in the classroom, because the success and accomplishment of the student during a course of study are greatly influenced by the teacher's behavior, explanation of the lesson, and interaction with the students. Additionally, the academic performance of pupils is significantly and favorably affected by positive teacher-student connection. So the best teacher combine teaching and education and have a friendly personality and behavior towards their student. So the teacher's attitude and personality can positively or negatively affect teaching and learning. A teacher will success and be able to satisfy his students if he possesses positive personality attributes, including patience, cooperation, and authority.
I also want to add where I get a motherly vibe from my teacher, as most of them are mothers and know how students struggle in school. So it's like our second mother. They know how to treat their student right, and some understand what they are going through. And for me, they know how to let the student feel loved, and I can say that they make them feel safe. But most of them are temporary in our school. The principal transferred them to a better school, and it is kind of sad because no one can replace their goodness in class, and the teaching method from another teacher is different from what they usually teach us. So as a student back then, we had no choice but to adapt to the new teacher's teaching method, even though it took a lot of work for us to bond with the technique they use. That's all for me.
And personally, my daughter always aspires to be a teacher in the future because of her English teacher who always encourages her. She would tell stories about her English teacher and how the classes were fun for her, and she will also bring craftable English activities from school. It really warms my heart that the teacher could make my daughter happy and want to be a teacher.
I see that's actually a wonderful chat that how your daughter aspires to be a teacher by a simple gesture by the teacher. Okay, alright. So moving on to our last question to end our discussion. So we got number 3. This question is very fitting for today's day, which says, how do you appreciate your teachers?
Alright, so as a teacher not long ago, it can be as simple as saying thank you because it makes me feel validated and lets me know how my efforts are not going unnoticed. It warms my heart when my students send me little cute notes when submitting their homework for me to mark.
So as for me, I always remind my children to always respect their teachers because being an educator is not an easy job, especially with children. And today my children made cards for their favorite teachers and wrote them some gratitude like thank you teacher, I like how you teach in the class and so on. As one of the parts of from PIBG, we always make sure Teachers Day are celebrate where we will make ceremonies and buffets for the school to make them feel appreciated for their hard work for teaching in the future generations. That's all.
Alright, thank you, Teacher Moni and Sabrina. I feel like it was a very thoughtful of you guys to have like a good relationship with your teachers. My mother, who was a teacher as well, so she never forgets the faces of the students that she taught and how she tells the story about her life in the teaching industry makes me curious and amazed by teachers all around the world. As our discussion has come to the end, we have discussed a lot of things and shared a few memorable moments as a way to thank you everyone for coming and sharing their thoughts. And I did like to extend my sincere appreciation to Teacher Murni, Mrs. Ainor, Miss Bali, and Miss Yuna for joining us and sharing their thoughts on what it takes to be a good teacher and even learn some things along the way. So I would like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Young Creative today. Don't forget to visit at tycoofficial.com for all the show's notes and links. Don't forget to join us next week for another exciting episode of the Young Creative, hosted by your favorite AnzuNim. Signing off.